Right, I'm back. So I'm just negotiating my way around these mossy rocks. I'm sure you'll like us to slip up, but I'm determined not to. Yes, it all started with Alexander Isak. Look, I've got no problem with Alexander Isak saying he wants to move to Liverpool or a club that's bigger than we. A club who's won more trophies, yet we're the still 9th most successful club in England, despite the drought. But yeah, if it's ambition and he feels like this project hasn't lived up to what was sold to him, fair enough. I've got no problem with a player having ambition. But it's the fact he's waited so late in the window and given no time to get a replacement in when he knows we haven't got a sporting director. He's left it till after Mitchell's left, and he's put in the doodah, if you want to put it that way without the swearing. So if he'd said at the start of the window, look, I want to move on for sporting reasons, for ambition, we probably would have went, okay, get your head down, honour your contract while it is, and then once a club comes in, you can put the word out there, we'll give you a blessing. If they come in with an offer, then you can go. Now, I think that offer should have been £150 million. I think it should be, if he's still to go, but it's looking less and less likely that he will, because the window closes soon. What are we today? Why was I looking at my watch? What's the date today? 6th of August. Window shuts in what? 1st of September, so that's what, 26 days. I just can't see it happening. And I stick to £150 million. One, our player, 3 years left. If we don't get the offer in for him, it's tough luck, whether he likes it or not. He's got to stay, he's under contract. Contract's there for a reason. A lot of E fans online saying, oh, doesn't matter. When Liverpool come in, you've got to leave. No, you don't. No, you don't. A contract's there for a reason. You walk into your job when you've got a contract and just say, I'm not turning up today. I want to leave. Someone's offered us this. Like, can you imagine that? That you get sacked on the spot. It's just ridiculous. But it's football, and footballers seem to hold a lot of power these days. Just want to show you that state of that. Look at that, the old outdoor pool. It's been a campaign to reopen it for years, but nothing coming as of yet. A bit like our transfer window. You've got to laugh or you'll cry. Hello. But anyway, yes, Isak started this. If you give one notice in this window, then we wouldn't have a problem with it. But his attitude's been disgusting. It has. Now, it said he came in, was it yesterday? Yes. Hang on, when the players fly back, what is it, Wednesday? Losing track of the days, the window's been that mad. So, yeah, they put us off. So, yeah, the players flew back Monday after the draw with Spurs. I just got to say, I watched that at Haggerston Castle. We were much better. Gordon was my man of the match. Brilliant move for the goal. Classic Harvey Barnes. And yeah, the players have grew into it. And look, pre-season, I know it's not about results. It's about fitness, but all the defeats do hurt a bit, especially losing to a K-League team. So yeah, it was a credible draw. I felt we'd done well in that game. A lot of clever passing moves. I thought were a bit more tidy, worked the ball well, and yeah, it was a well-taken goal. But yeah, where was I? So, yes, Isak. So, the players came back Monday, and then, but they weren't in for training until today. Isak was in yesterday, apparently to get check on his alleged thigh injury, and then he left the training ground. Now today, EddieHowe's had a session in with the players, and then afterwards he's had a bit like a time with their family. So family could come in, have something to eat, and then they had activities on. But Isak was excluded, and it's like EddieHowe said, we're Newcastle United. If you act poorly, you can't expect to just walk back in and train with a group. You've got to earn it. And so many people might mock that, but he's absolutely right. You've got to have morals. You've got to have integrity. You can't just expect to... Can you imagine that? Imagine someone like was horrible to your parents or your wife, for example, or your kids. And then you just, after all, like they called them worse than shit. Sorry, I have swore now. They lie to you about something, then you just let them back in like it didn't happen. What does that say about yourself? So EddieHowe's got to lay down the law. And do I think he's too far gone? He might be, I don't know. He might be beyond the point of return. I've done a video saying as he burnt all bridges with a club whose city's famous for them, but we don't know. But yeah, it's just his whole attitude. He's listened to his agent. Yes, agents agents try and get you the best deals and they're all money driven, the greedy, but at the end of the day, Isak's still his own man. He didn't have to listen to his agent. If he's still got his head down and trained, then Liverpool put a bid in when we've got a replacement, and it'd be fair enough. But the way he's went about all this, that's why we're annoyed. It's been disgusting. Now I'm just going to go up the stairs, and with the magic of editing, I'll be back in a moment. See you up there. Right, I'm up the stairs. That was a trek. I'm not saying I'm unfit, but God, forget how much the stairs are a killer coming up from Long Sands. Is it 306? Don't know why I've done that. Right, anyway, so going on from Alexander Isak. Well, actually, just to finish on him, has he burnt all bridges? Well, I just can't say any way back from this, because if you keep a player who's unhappy, what's it going to do for the rest of the squad? I don't think that Joe Linton and Bruno are happy. They done posts online not long after they went over to the Far East, to Singapore. And while they didn't say it directly, it was very subtly hinted at. And can you imagine walking in and annoying everyone, and then Joe Linton's waiting there for you? So, yeah, we'll wait and see. Anyway, we'll have to see how it's dealt with. But obviously, you're back EddieHowe, and people have been criticising him for this window. But I just ask, what more could he have done? Honestly, what more could he have done? I don't know. I don't think there's anything more he could have done. That's the hand he's been dealt. And people say he's obsessed with British players. But look, just get off that. He's went for Premier League proven players. And yes, there's a naivety in that the market was shopping in against these big clubs. And then you have Saudi tax and like Newcastle tax, whatever you want to call it, English player tax, Premier League tax. There's so much tax. Even the tax will be taxed. But yes, but going on to other transfers anyway, yes, it's been reported this evening that we're in for Malik Chow. I had to look that up, actually. Who was that I watched the other day? Geordie Journos, yes. And Jordan Cronin and Liam Kennedy both said, yeah, it's pronounced Chow. I thought it was Thiaw, but yes, that proves how wrong I am. But yeah, Malik Chow apparently. So that's the German defender. And there's been conflicting reports. We've had Patrick Berger, I think it's the Patrick Berger, who used to play for Liverpool. He says that we've agreed personal terms. Then cold water was poured on it by Downey and Hope. Now, would I be happy if we'd got like Ramsdale, Alanga, Chow? Now, we've been linked with John McGinn. Where did that come from? Aston Villa's captain. And then obviously like a Wissa, and then maybe if Isak does go, a Watkins. I'd be happy with Ollie Watkins as well. I'm just going to rattle through these here. So yes, Malik Chow with ponderous nature. We could have got him earlier in the window before they got a new manager in. And Como tried to approach him, but they had a bid rejected. Now, we've come in with a higher bid for him. And what do you want to move here? If you weighed it up, trying to take the Newcastle bias out of it. Well, playing for EddieHowe above Erik Ten Hag, that's an easy winner. We saw what Ten Hag was like in Manchester United. He'd be in the Premier League, he'd get a much better wage, certainly. If his agent's in his ear, then he should be telling them that. And obviously the Premier League exposure should get him back in the Germany national team. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. It seems to have some legs, but we know how this windows went, so we'll approach that with cautious optimism. Then John McGinn. Where's John McGinn come from? Aston Villa's captain. He's 30. Now, if we can get a deal from him, probably 25, 30 million, I think it'd be all right. He'd suit with shithousery nature, wouldn't he? He's certainly like that. Scotland international. I think he's key to Emery's team, so what do you want to sell him? But we're trying to take advantage of Villa's weak PSR position. Villa won't want to lose him, but if it's just a short-term option which will fill the midfield with experience and a bit of quality, I'm all for it. And then, who else have we been linked with as well? Yeah, Ollie Watkins. Now, yeah, will Villa let both of them go? They are getting a striker in at the moment, so we'll wait and see in terms of Watkins. I'd have him. Personally, I think over the last 5 seasons, he's got over 20 goals and assists. And he'd probably want to leave Villa at this moment in time. So yeah, he's one to watch. But I think a window of getting Watkins, Alanga, Ramsdale, Thiaw and McGinn would be good. And then to top it off, just to finish my video, Keith Downey clip was shared earlier. I can't remember which account it was, but if I do find it, I will credit you. Yes, he said that Brentford are close to getting a striker in, and obviously we know that Wissa's keen on the move. Brentford has eased their stance on that they won't sell. They've changed to a bit like us with Isak. They'll let him go for the right price if they get a replacement in first. So Downey did say earlier that Wissa in the coming days could be one that we'll see some movement on. But again, it's all about expediency in this respect, because the window is getting closer to closing, and if we're going to this season with the current squad that we have, it is weaker. No matter what you think of Longstaff and Wilson, I've got to say, I'm happy to see, sorry if that was too loud, I'm happy to see Wilson's moved to West Ham. Hammers fans will be delighted in the fact that he can't score against them anymore. And then also Martin Dubravka, deals agreed with Burnley, so I just want to wish him as well. Fantastic servant. We'll remember his debut against Manchester United, so yeah. And he stayed on when he didn't have to. I was at the Emirates back in January, some seven months ago now. And yes, he bid a teary farewell that night, but he turned Saudi down and he stayed on. So he's been a fantastic servant. Same with Wilson, like Longstaff, going to Leeds, gets nothing but my well wishes, those three. But anyway, I want to wrap it up at one of my new favourite places. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I know this has been a longer one, but it has been 6 days without a video. So I just want to give all my thoughts in summary, if you call that a summary, in this video. But yeah, I'm going to finish before I edit this at one of my favourite places. The Gibraltar Rock is back open. So I'm going to edit my video there with a pint of Hawkston. So from me, King EddieHowe's Bay and Tynemouth Prairie and Castle, I bid you a happy Wednesday evening. Take care. See you on the next one.